Good morning, everybody. What is happening? Gary and Tammy here from Crystal Vision Pools with another quick pool school video. Check out our Facebook pages at CB Pool Pros and at Crystal Vision Pools. Also check out our YouTube channel where this and many other videos like it are on there. It is CV Pool Pros 16. We are available. We are taking on new customers, and we travel. Right now, the furthest one out we have is an 8-hour round trip. We go out to Youngstown, PA, which is literally like 3 miles away from Latrobe, where they make Rolling Rock beer. But we will travel. Anyway, the reason for this particular pool school video is something that I've thought about for a while, and I kind of hate to do this because it is kind of throwing other companies under the bus in a way, and I don't know whether they don't realize it or they're doing it on purpose. I would think more on purpose because a pool company should know this, but closing chemicals and why they're so important. Closing chemicals are necessary for a pool so that when you open the pool, there's less of a chance of the pool being green and nasty and it just being a very expensive opening, because you need all kinds of extra chemical to open the pool to get it cleared back up. So when we close a pool, we take extra measures in closing the pool to try to make sure that our pools open up as blue as they were when we closed them. And, you know, I'm not going to go into what we do because a lot of the things that I say end up being used by other companies, and I have proof of that, to help them along, and I just don't do that. So our tips and tricks that we use are what we use on what?
Go ahead.
Our tips and tricks that we use on our customers' pools are more of not really a guarantee, and I'll get to that in a second, because there is a way to guarantee that you'll open a crystal clear pool or a clear pool. It may not be crystal clear, but it'll be blue, it'll be clear. The majority of them, all the ones we're opening so far this year, are crystal blue, and the majority of the years that we've opened our pools that we have closed, as long as there were no water issues with those pools, they're crystal clear. But there is one way to guarantee that you're going to open a crystal clear pool, and that's to get our winter service. Our winter service is once a month, all winter long, and we come and we check your system, make sure everything's good with your system, make sure your cover's fitting nice. The cover fitting nice is actually has actually helped in many ways with customers that we have had that have actually had their cover slip off because of wind, because of water bags moving, because of weight on the cover, and water bags are moving around. Weight on the cover, pulling the rope loose, or popping the rope up off the, mostly on above grounds, but in grounds too. So we actually check your cover to make sure we'll refit it, make sure it's good. We always recommend a cover pump on top of the cover to pump any water off, so it keeps the weight of the water off the cover. That way the cover stays sitting nice. But our winter service is once a month, twice a month if you want it, which is every other week. But once a month has been working out good for everybody. And we check and make sure your chemicals are, your chlorine's good. If you need chlorine, we'll add, usually liquid. If we know we're going to be doing your service, we'll actually, any pool we close, we always recommend they have, well, I'm not going to go into that because that's giving away one of our secrets. I'm not going to do that. We just make sure that you have chlorine in the pool. And there is one way that we do it if we're not coming back to service it, but I'm not giving that away. Anyway, why do we recommend closing chemicals? Well, we recommend closing chemicals because if you don't use them, you're going to run out of chemical. You're going to run out of chlorine sometime throughout the winter. That's a definite. You're going to run out. I mean, unless they put, a shitload of gallons in, but most of them don't use any. when they close your pool. We're finding this out. A lot of the pool companies, and we're not talking little pool companies either, we're talking big ones. They don't use chemicals. Chemicals are not included. You actually have to ask for chemicals. Well, if you're a pool owner and you don't know anything about a pool and you're hiring a service to close your pool, you don't know to ask for chemicals. So what's going to happen is when you open that pool's probably going to be green. When you open that pool green or brown or black, which we've seen, it's going to take a lot of extra chemical to open that pool, where it wouldn't have taken that if they had used the chemicals to close it. Now, as much as I kind of hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, are they doing this on purpose? Are they doing this on purpose because it makes a more expensive opening? I don't know, you tell me. But, be that as it may, whatever the case may be, our pool openings, on our pool closings rather, we use chemicals to close the pool. We use the same chemicals to close every pool. Again, we do take one extra measure. Even if we're not coming back to do service, we take one extra measure to try to ensure that you're going to open up a green pool, or a blue pool, which has worked very well over the years. We've been doing it for a long time. Tammy and I have been doing that for basically the whole time we've had this company. We've been doing it. And it works amazing when people listen to us and let us do it. But please understand that closing chemicals are of paramount importance to 100% ensure that you're going to open up a blue pool. Okay? You gotta have chemicals in there to even hopefully open up a green pool, much less insure it. Okay? The way we do it almost ensures you're going to open up a blue pool because of the extra measure that we take. But if you use our winter service, we're going to guarantee it. Every pool that we do that is a winter service is opening up crystal clear this year. And we have 3 of them that have had no covers on them all year. All winter. No covers at all. And you can clearly see the bottom of the pool. Through the ice and everything, you can see the leaves that are on the bottom from when the ice formed and we couldn't remove the leaves. As long as there's no ice on the top of the pool, we're actually removing leaves too while we're there for the winter service. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to show you a little something. Gary was talking about the winter service.
Here, turn.
We have a customer that they are snowbirds. They come up late May and they're only here until August. Well,
and in August, it's still hot here. Keep that in mind.
Since they've been doing that, their pool has been opening. Not gross, but not nice.
Greener than we like it.
Yeah, because they wait so long to open it.
And then they close too early.
It's already blistering hot for weeks on end before they're opening it.
And then it's blistering hot after they close it because they're closing in August.
Right. So, last year, when they decided to close so early, I said, why don't you take advantage of our winter service? That way, when we open it, you don't have to wait, for a week. You won't have the staining, and they always had in their deep end, they started getting staining from the leaves. Some of the bushes they have around their area are maroon in color. So those leaves would just sit on the liner with no chlorine, and it started staining the liner. So I said, take advantage of our winter service. That way, we're here once a month, make sure the chemicals are good as far as chlorine. We have the tabs in it. You'll open up, crystal clear. That pool right there is a photo of that exact pool that always opened up gross with staining at the deep end all we did was take off the cover. That is before any vacuuming, anything was done. The plugs were actually still in the system. We did a live on this yesterday because they got opened. So that is the result. If you're one of those that like to close early for whatever reason and like to open up late for whatever reason, that is the
Product of our winter service.
perfect example on why you should have a winter service.
And not all companies offer winter services.
Yeah, no.
I've actually worked for a major company that offered it. I was actually on one of the winter service crews. That's when Tammy and I met. I was on one of the winter service crew, and I learned what they did. So I incorporated it into my business, and we love it. And our customers are starting to love it. We picked up 2 more than we had last year, and I guarantee those people, they're going to do it again. And the other ones with no cover that are crystal clear, they're going to do it again. One of them was the 2nd year in a row that they did it. Actually, 2 of them were the 2nd year in a row that they did it. So, but the whole point of this was not really to sell you on the winter service. I mean, yeah, we do offer the winter service, and, you know, yeah, it's a great thing. Jump on it when you can. Take advantage of it. But the point in this is when we tell you we're doing a closing to your pool, the chemicals are included in our closing. You gotta check with the companies that you guys are using out there. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say the names. Leslie's Pools is one. Tammy knows that for a fact because she called them and actually asked them what was included. And she flat out asked them, "You don't include closing chemicals?" "No, you have to ask for it." When
Well,
she
what
got,
if the customer don't know any
that
better?
was my whole point. What if you don't know that you need closing chemicals? What if you're brand new to having a pool? So Leslie's is doing it. Fox Pools does it. Guys, all the pool companies out there are starting to do this.
And here's the thing.
And I don't understand it. They don't vac your water to bring it down. They don't vac your pool to bring the water level down. We do. So we close your pool. We vac your pool when we close it. We also vacuum it to waste when we open it. Some of them do not include cleaning the grids or the cartridge filter. You have to ask for that, and it's extra. We don't charge extra for any of that.
And I tell you what.
Go ahead. I knew she was going to interrupt.
The price.
It's on you.
The price for all that extra stuff that we include
It's not cheap.
is not $50.
Yeah, no.
It's not $75.
We've seen one that was as high as $150 just to clean grid.
I think one of them was $175.
Yeah, one of them might be $175.
So again, and
they're what we call add-ons. We don't do that.
As far as the chemicals, not only the fact, if you don't know what who knows if you even know what chemicals that you should be having for closing.
Right, and it's not your fault you don't know.
Right. You could say, well, hopefully the pool place that you're calling knows what chemicals should be included. You could say, I don't know, what's the normal chemicals? They could say this, this, or this.
They love that.
Or you could say, I don't know, whatever you see fit. I'll leave it up to you. Well, then next thing you know, you got $300 in fucking chemicals that may not even be needed. Because some put in, some chemical that we're like, why do you even use that for closing?
Like one company put stain and scale in and that's it.
Yeah.
We know that for a fact.
You can't close a pool with only using stain and scale.
And I want to say something real quick. When we do these lives and we tell you guys this shit, we're not telling you this off the cuff. We've done the research. Tammy goes on websites. She calls people. She asks people. Customers tell us. We've had a customer literally watch Leslie's Pools do their closing and not add chemicals. They have watched from the kitchen, from the beginning of the closing to the end of the closing. And they did it because they wanted to let us know what was being done and not being done. Guys, we have customers watching this shit. We are not talking out our ass and we're not guessing. We've done the research, we've heard from customers, and Tammy has gone on websites and called these companies, and these companies are telling us this out of their mouths. And on their website, it's not listed. So we are coming at you with real information that you need to know. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is, it's...
Wait, we're going to Fountain, right?
Yes, we're going to Fountain. We don't tell you guys and gals any of this information to be like, yeah, I'm going to get one over on somebody else.
No, hell no.
I want, everybody to come to us. No.
Guys, we're here for you.
We are hearing from everybody how they're getting taken advantage of.
And it pisses me off.
Yeah, we want you people, anybody that watches this, we want people to get educated. So when you are looking for a company, you know what to ask,
what to expect,
what to look for. I could care less that you go with another company. Have at it, feel free. We want people to make sure that don't know. We're here to educate. And, this goes the same for, whether you're in auto mechanics or, cable, whatever. When you're in a career and a trade, when you hear other shit that companies are doing to customers that are not right, you want to let them know. Those Facebook pages that, these companies, when you have bad experiences, you want to let everybody know? Well, we're letting the customers know. You need to know what to look for in companies.
And remember, we always say we keep it real.
Yeah.
This is part of keeping it real.
This is real world shit freaking happening. And
it's getting worse every year. In the pool industry.
I don't do any research without a freaking reason. I'm not doing it just to be freaking nosy. I'm doing it because we're hearing a lot of this shit and we're like, this can't be happening.
Yeah, we want to make sure that what we're hearing is accurate.
Yeah.
And holy shit.
This can't be.
We wish it wasn't.
These places can't be this ignorant as to what they're doing to these customers.
Either that or dishonest.
Right.
One or the other.
And it's astounding. It really is. So I don't want anybody thinking we're doing any of this or making up shit to try to sway your decisions as to who you go to. Again, could care less if you're coming with us or you're going with somebody else.
And again, it's not, guys, it's 100%, it's not just one other company.
Yeah.
So far, it's been all of them. Now, there's one company that I work for that does everything we do. And that is Armand Pools. But I don't think they do. I think they only work on the pools that they build because they're construction and service and repair.
They only service.
But they do everything we do. They do opening chemicals. They do an opening back. That's where I learned it. Well, that's not where I learned it, but I got it. They solidified my thoughts on it. They do an opening back. They do a closing back, and they do opening chemicals. They do closing chemicals. They do everything we do. That one I know because I used to work there. There's another company that I worked for that didn't, when I was there, did not do a closing back. Which I'm not going to name the company because they'll get all butthurt, but they did not do a closing back. Hell, when I got there, they didn't even do service.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I ran that company and I started a service department, which now I wish I hadn't, but started a service department for them. Tammy actually worked there. She was basically damn near running the cleaning crew, which was her and our daughter. But, guys, the point is, yeah, like Tammy said, we're not doing this to look what they don't do. We're doing this to educate you because it's affecting you and your wallet, your bank account.
You're paying for a service. You better make sure you're getting the service
that you're
paying for and that they say they are actually doing. You need to have trust in that company. You need to make sure that there is communication between you and the company. You need to make sure you're getting the quality.
And you know what? I want to say something else real quick. If you have, and this is why it's so important, if you have a cartridge filter or a DE filter, okay, you have grids or a cartridge, okay, if these companies are not including that in cleaning, in closing, cleaning them in closing, and you don't know to ask for it, let me tell you what's happening to your cartridges and your cartridge filter and your grids and your DE filter. They're getting ruined because they're not getting cleaned when they're closing it. They're potentially getting ruined. Now, it may not happen the first year, it may not happen the second year, but it's going to happen. Chances are it's happening usually within the first 2 years. They're ruining your grids or your cartridge because they're stuck with shit now. And it freezes on there, and it stains them, and it clogs the pores. Guys, this is real world shit. They're actually ruining your stuff, and now you're going to go buy new when they tell you, oh, these need new shit. Well, it's because they didn't clean them. I'm sorry, but that's what it's from. It's from them sitting all winter long with the shit on them and not getting cleaned at closing. That is paramount rule number one. You clean grids or a cartridge at closing. Sand, you make sure you backwash the sand until it's crystal clear water coming out of the tank. So, this is not shit that we're just pulling out our asses, guys. This is stuff that can potentially ruin parts of your pools that these companies don't care because they're just going to sell you new ones.
Quick, before I forget, we're servicing Nathan tomorrow because check-in is at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
so we got plenty of time.
So he liked that idea then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Again, just guys, be vigilant and ask questions when you're talking to these companies. Ask them what's included. Ask them what their add-ons are, and if they don't know what add-ons are, say what you charge extra for. Say, do you clean the filter? It doesn't matter what kind of it. Do you clean the filter? If I have DE or cartridge, do you take that out and hose it off and clean it?
As a matter of fact,
go ahead.
We should make up a checklist and put it up on
we should.
Our Facebook.
We should.
What to ask,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
For openings, for service.
Guys, a lot of these companies seem to be counting on you not knowing.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage of that. That's the way it seems to me. And I don't think I'm far off with that because I'm a pretty good judge of character.
Well, we're hearing it, and
another thing, companies that are taking your insides of your filter without telling you. We just went through that with an Airbnb.
Yep.
They took the inside of the guy's filters. So when we opened the tank, thank God we opened the tank. We opened the tank to make sure they were clean. They were gone.
And it's a good thing the customer
had
a feeling and bought new ones.
They were sitting there waiting.
Now,
we put them in.
The ones that the company took, they were new ones.
Yep.
We put them in.
Yep. We put them in ourselves when they couldn't figure out a problem or didn't want to get out there and try to fix it again. He called us. We put the new ones in because the old ones weren't cleaned in a very long time, and they looked like shit. And that was stopping the flow of the pool from keeping it clean. because the flow was way down. They took those new filters. They took them, and he didn't even know it.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, I don't know where my thought was.
Well, we were talking about them taking the filters. And,
Yeah, but no, I was saying something before that.
about making a checklist.
Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to make up a checklist on things to ask.
We'll pin it in the top of our page.
Yeah.
That way you can go in there and find it. We'll do it for openings, closing. We'll do it for all the services that we offer.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some of these companies that have multiple locations, it's not just in one specific area that we're hearing this from.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It is the same company in different locations that are nowhere near each other that we're hearing this on.
And it's not, there's no
So-
companies that are out of it.
Yeah.
We're hearing this about all of them. I hate to say that, but we are. We're hearing about none of them are out of it. I don't care if they're nationwide or not. The nationwide ones are actually worse.
Again, we have on the first of every month Q&A. Get your questions ready. Get your drinks ready. Get your popcorn ready. Ask away.
And that is on this page. It's on Crystal Mission Pool's Facebook page. It's a live. You ask questions, we will answer to the best of our knowledge.
Tips, tricks, whatever it is you have, just bring it to the table. Again, and I can't stress this enough. We don't say any of this stuff or do any of this stuff to gloat at ourselves and give ourselves a pat on the back.
I wish we were doing that. I really do, honestly.
I mean, could we? Yeah. But we want people to get educated. Pools are not cheap to begin with.
Hell no. Even above grounds are not cheap anymore.
Yeah, no, they're not. So the last thing that you want to do is become frustrated because you're being told misinformation.
And it is happening a lot.
Having a pool is a luxury. You want to be able to swim. You want to be happy that you have a pool. You don't want it to become a chore and a pain in the ass. Okay? That's why we do what we do. So please, please, please understand that. I think that's all I have.
That's all she has for this 10 minutes. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, that's why we're doing this, guys. And that's why we have our YouTube channel at CV Pool Pros 16. I mean, that's why we do what we do. It's why we do the lives, all the lives, and including the Q&A live. You know, we do it for you. We want you guys swimming. We don't want you guys paying for, number one, paying for shit that's not getting done. We hear that a lot too. I mean, all the time from other companies. It's crazy. But be vigilant when you contact these companies. Ask them what all they do. Ask them what all's included in their open, what all's included in their closing. And like I said, Tammy and I are going to work on some checklists for the different services so that you know what to ask. You know what to expect from us. What we'll do is we will put lists up of what we do in our services. We'll put lists up of what we do. Go off of that list, print them out if you want, and ask other companies, do you do this? Do you do this? Go down the list.
And we'll do, ask for, like, add-ons. What do you consider an add-on? How much is it?
Now, we call it an add-on. They won't, because they don't want you to know that they're not doing it.
Yeah, these companies are calling other things that we include as add-ons.
Well, they don't call it that. We do. We call it add-ons. They don't call. They
other
just.
companies are.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're called, like cleaning the grids at the end of the season. that stuff is listed under add-ons.
Oh, okay. So they do call it add-ons. See, I didn't look at the website. She did. So they are called add-ons then. That's why I guess she started calling them add-ons. Okay. I thought that was an us term.
No.
But we don't do that.
No, we don't have those.
And-
Everything is all included.
Yeah, when we're there to open a pool or we're there to close a pool, we're there to open or close the fucking pool. That's what we do. Like, we do the whole job. This add-on shit pisses me off because you don't know to ask for it. That is the dumbest thing we've ever heard. A pool company say, oh, well, they have to ask for that. Well, wait a minute. How the hell do they know that? Dude,
Yeah, pay the fucking attention.
how the hell are they going to know to ask for it if they don't know pools? So, like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And a lot of these companies don't want to educate their customers.
They don't want you to know.
Yeah, so if you're not educated by the company that you're with, you're not going to know to say, hey, by the way, did you clean my grids off? Did you clean my cartridge off?
And that's where you guys get taken advantage of. And it pisses me off because I've been in this industry a long time and I've watched the downfall.
A lot of these companies are like, the less my customer knows, the better. No.
We're exact opposite.
We are, the more educated you are as our customer, the better
our relationship
our
is with you.
relationship is, because if we come to you and say, hey, just so you know, this is going bad, you're going to be like, oh yeah, you told me what I need to listen for, and yeah, I get it. That way you know we're not trying to win one over on you and, be dishonest. A lot of these companies love the fact their customers don't know because they're just going to add shit here. Hell, one customer we have that we got last year from another company was so dishonest to the fact that she had a DE filter.
Oh, yeah.
She came home one day and there was a sand system all plumbed in.
Well, she didn't even know it.
She didn't know. She knew nothing.
She didn't know until I
about
pointed it out to her. She had to say, she's like, no, I don't. I have a DEs. I said, no, you don't. She goes, oh my God.
She go,
Good, they
I
must
never
have
knew.
changed this out. She never knew it.
And-
Now, you want to talk about dishonest?
And all of a suddenly, her main drain
Doesn't
line
work.
don't work.
They cut it out.
The company never told her why. No, nothing.
They just said it doesn't work.
That's how dishonest some of these companies are.
And that's no bullshit.
Granted, the customer didn't. She goes, well, I didn't pay for it. I don't know. But still, it doesn't matter. That's dishonesty
Yeah,
right
you're
there.
going to be that dishonest? That's ridiculous.
And a main drain line not working without the customer knowing.
Yep, they cut it out, capped it off. Well, they cut it out and
Yeah.
closed the valve. Couldn't believe it. So that's kind of what's happening in the industry, guys, and that's what we're trying to put a stop to.
Not that we can't stop these companies from doing what they're doing.
Well, no, but if you go with us.
We can educate the people that are out there in knowing what to look for, what to ask for.
You know, one of the big problems
And
with this industry
to
is, though,
watch.
a lot of the customers aren't home when the pool companies are there. Our customers know just because they're not home doesn't mean we're not doing what we say we're
They
doing.
have peace of mind.
They know they have peace of mind and we have integrity. We do what's right even when nobody's there to watch. Guys, I've been part of these other pool companies. A lot of them. And I've watched and I've been told, no, we're not going to do that. They're not home. No, I'm still doing that because that's... And a lot of people have cameras now around their houses.
Yeah.
And I have had customers when I was working for other companies. I have had customers request me because on their camera they see me doing everything, even though they're not there to see it. That's integrity, guys. And unfortunately, that is becoming a very lost art in this industry because these companies know people aren't home.
What some of these companies don't realize, and we've heard it, just because customers' vehicles are nowhere to be seen on the premises does not mean that they don't work from home and are watching you, because there's a customer that we went to last year that said, yeah, the company was here to do the opening. Here's the report that I got, and they didn't do half of what was on that report.
Yep.
And they didn't, they said they put in this chemical. The only thing I saw them do was put one bottle of this in, so I'm getting charged for all this stuff.
And her office desk was facing the window where they were working. She was watching the entire process.
Yep.
Watched the whole thing. Didn't go to the bathroom or anything. She watched the entire process. She said they put one bottle of shit in, and that was it. They left the cover. They didn't really do anything with the cover.
They tossed it off to the side.
Yeah, they didn't vac. They didn't do any of that.
Didn't even fold it. They tossed it off to the side. Said that they did a vacuuming when they didn't. And when they got the bill came in the mail.
And it was higher than what they originally quoted them.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm not paying this fucking bill because you didn't do half of what was on here.
They ended up having to call us to get the pool straight.
Yep.
Because it wasn't right. The chemicals were way off. It was turning on them. The system wasn't running right. We had to do a bit of work to get that thing right. And that's what's happening, guys. Hate to say it, but there's no nice way to put it. Just be vigilant of who you're using and ask questions, because we don't want to see the customers get taken advantage of. See, what we understand is we're in business because of our customers. These other pool companies are getting cocky thinking they're the only game in town. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, and we do things the right way. I am old school. I still do things the way I learned them. And when I learned them, I learned from the best. And this will piss off a lot of pool companies, but I really don't give a shit because they don't pay my bills. You, the customer, does. And that, to me, is paramount.
Buy and sell Bitcoin.
Customer service is paramount to me. I love our customers. Our customers become part of our family. And that is one thing you can ask any one of the customers we have, and they will tell you they will never switch. Because they know we do the job, we do it right. Most of our customers have been with us for a long time.
Hell, when I first talk to someone and I give them like a paragraph of freaking information, I've been told many times, wow, you got a lot of information. Thanks for all the information. I go in detail to make sure you understand what our services is all about and how we work and what we expect,
and what to expect.
All right.
So anyway, there's some info for you for the day, guys. Please be careful of who you're using, and we'll get those those informational things up as soon as we can. Because I think that's important for you guys to have access to what we do, because I do things the old-fashioned way, and I'm not money hungry. We're not money hungry. We are customer hungry. We want our customers to be happy. We want you swimming, and we're not looking at like I always say, every job is not $1 million job. We want our customers taken care of. And we want to keep growing as a company. We appreciate our customers and all they do for us in using us. Just having us in their yards means everything to us. So, everybody have a good day. This, again, will be uploaded later on, some point in time today, later on to our YouTube channel. Check out the videos that are up there. There's a whole shitload of them. There'll be more added as we go through the season. If you need anything, you can text or email. Text is 610-780-3614. Email is cvpoolpros@gmail.com. Send Tammy your full name, city and state location, pictures of the pool and the filter system, and the service or services that you are needing, you are requesting. She will get back to you with any additional questions we might have after we look at the pictures. Any info that you need, answer any questions that you have, pricing, availability, and all that. And if you do need to call rather than text or email, make sure you leave a voicemail or you will not get a call back if she does not answer. Okay, we get a lot of spam calls. All right. Everybody have a good day. Be safe, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Later.